The speaker, the general speaker, they are playing. Tomorrow, we can say on a few. You know what I feel? But you don't know. But why is that doing?
Such on the issue of the threshold bill that was passed recently, and then a motion of reconsideration was taken by one of our colleagues, which sparked heated debate around here. You know, on the 9th of December 2025, the House of Representatives passed on this bill and sent it to the Senate for concurrence. This bill was crafted following the submission of the 2022 census result, which puts Liberia's population at around 5.2 million plus. And this submission was done to satisfy the constitutional requirements that are enshrined in Articles 80D and 80E. In 80D, it says each constituency shall have an approximately equal population of 20,000 or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth and movement as reviewed by the National Census.
It's Magella Cooper. I'm the Senior Political Advisor to His Excellency Josiah Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker.
The example of our President, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. This is why we are here. Let me be on record. This is the National Archive of Republic of Liberia that is the nucleus of Liberia. Go. Everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the historicity how Liberia was built, we have it here. But the central government has forgotten about it. And we will continue to require who will speak. Person. In a while we're here.
Coming from the executive.
I say, I don't know why the president chose to think about football academy right after the exit of the footballing president. President Boakai had never, I don't think he even played in elementary school. To sit and decide that you're going to play a football academy, something that was being done by President Weah, who is celebrated around the world as who is celebrated in Africa. We think that is a serious challenge. That's a serious challenge. Everyone should watch that, because if this woman go ahead and build a football academy, and when he background in football after the exit of the football president, that clearly speaks to the fact that football was not a priority on George Weah.
Allotted, approved by the legislature. If you spend $10 million on a government project, which institution funded it? It also lends credence to some of the things people have said, that some of the money hitting the budget. For example, they're spending $1 million for Foya Hospital. What's the population of Foya? $1 million for Foya Hospital, but there are more people in Basso. There are more people in Magidi. So how do you allot money? There's a lot more money being spent for Kolahun Hospital. And there is also money being spent for Current Hospital in Zozo. So this year's budget spending almost $2 million on hospitals in Foya. Are they giving those money, in Lofa, are they giving those money to go back for it and spend on other projects?
Amrekun, distinguished colleagues, I want to say good morning to every one of you, and
Thank God that we're in 2026. I mean, this is a very pleasant morning. All we can say, we want to tell God thank you for life. He has given us another breathing space. However, I am reminded of the conversation that was in the chat room yesterday where the speaker validated that Cecilia Bokun is his biological sister. That leads us to the fact that Richard Kun, at this point in time, you should recuse yourself, that you have committed crime under our marital law, the domestic law of this republic, that incest is a crime. So until we get reasons why you marry your sister, I think you have lost legitimacy to preside as speaker. So it is just the right thing for you to recuse yourself. And one thing, there are a lot of colleagues calling me and say, oh, you're from the Fanatic of Blood, they fire, you're not supposed to be commenting, you're not supposed to be talking. There is not a no damn blood thing that we're talking about. We are talking about the credibility, the image of the house that represents every one of us, the legislature as a body. Do you know what happened? That a woman is claiming that she got a marriage divorce certificate from the Civil Law Court. The reputation of our judiciary is placed on a question. Now the executive is also placed on a question. The legislature is placed on a question. And the lives and the status of our Liberian brothers and sisters in the United States of America now being in danger. I mean, this is a grave allegation. I'm hoping that our dear speaker can do the right thing. I'm not talking about removal or Richard Kun. I'm only saying he should recuse himself because they are also saying the woman fake document and blah, 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 blah. In the state of Delaware, you did marriage, and then now we have credible information. The documents will be available today that, pictorial evidences will be out that you did marry and you exhibited acts of husband and wife. And if those papers are provided today from now to 12 o'clock, I think Richard Kun will not be speaker anymore.
Now, what is the big news?
The big news in the corridor. Are you both planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not a speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out?
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so
he's
you don't want
performing.
him out.
No, I don't want. It's not. I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that that speaker have done this, has done this, that required for us to remove him. Obviously, we will remove him.
So here is my promise to you, not as a politician, but as a Liberian who loves this country with everything I have. CMC will end corruption, not reduce it, not manage it, end it. CMC will create jobs, real jobs, jobs that let you provide for your family with dignity. CMC will build roads that connect our farmers to markets, roads that connect our children to school. CMC will put medicine in hospitals, so no mother ever has to watch her child suffer because some politicians stole the health budget. CMC will unite this nation. No tribe left behind. Competence over connection. One Liberia for all Liberians. But I cannot do this alone. CMC cannot do this alone. This movement, this revolution, it belongs to you. You, the student who dreams of a better future. You, the mother who prays for her children every night. You, the father whose sweat feeds this nation. You, the professional who is embarrassed by what Liberia has become. You, in the diaspora, who left because Liberia failed you, but whose heart never left home. This is your movement. This is your movement. This is your Liberia. So, I'm asking you, no, I'm calling you to join us. Join CMC. Not because we have all the answers, but because together we are the answer. Sign up, volunteer, donate what you can, share this message to your neighbors. Be the change you have been waiting for. 2026, the year of change. The year we stop waiting. The year we start to build. The year we take back what is ours. Liberia first, citizens empowered, For the people, by the people. Happy New Year, my people. The awakening has begun. God bless you, and God bless the people and the republic.
These kind of words we live in today. I got a letter from Obama from his foundation. He sent me notes. And then he sent this note and then in the note they said President Obama. And so then somebody is telling me, why you always call George President? I said, I don't even like to talk to people like you. He said, why? I said, because we're not writing to people like you. I said, I got 3 different degrees. I've been meeting people globally. And in their mind, they know I'm on their level. That's why they're talking to me. If you went there, you got to wait in the car. I'm not talking to you on my page. Just find something else to do. I'm talking to President George. Didn't you watch the inauguration? Before they inaugurated this man called Donald Trump. Before they inaugurated him, they announced all the presidents called him president. I don't know where they were. People were asking me, they not watch that. Here comes President Bill Clinton. Here comes President George Bush. Here comes President Obama. They were naming those people who left systematically until they all took their seat before they announced the president-elect. And people are here in this little small country, 5 million people, most of whom haven't even written any paper on their own wall, when they post pictures, and they are telling you, don't call George president. You have a problem. And if you are pathetic, I'm not a doctor. You got to learn to do psychology.
I was formally exonerated of the rape allegation made against me. The investigator found no evidence to substantiate the claim, and the findings clearly established that the allegations could not be supported by facts, forensics, or circumstances. This outcome came through due process, forensic review, and professional investigation. Let me again state clearly and unequivocally that since returning to Liberia from the United States on August 8, 2025, I did not meet, see, or interact with the alleged victim at any time, in any place, or under any circumstances. That fact was central to the police investigation and was confirmed during the process that led to my exoneration. For clarity and public understanding, it is important to address the specific claim relating to Saturday, August 30, 2025. On August 30 was a Saturday and a non-working day. I did not go to SKD Sports Complex to work on that day. I do not have personal access to my office key.
This is DN News Liberia.
Now the class have been since 24 December. Started this.
Okay.
This
yeah.
is
So let's talk with.
Let's say.
Welcome to DN News and other, online platforms. Welcome. What do you make of? Why are you here? Firstly, why are you here at the grounds of the Capitol?
Good morning, distinguished member of the team. It's a pleasure to be here. And by the way of introduction, my name is Mayor Penduro. I'm the president of the Liberia Association of Nurses and Anesthetists, group of professional health workers that are responsible to facilitate surgery and run critical care in Liberia. So I'll come here today, a couple of lot of issues. Among these issues include the issue of honor compensation. The issue of honor compensation in Liberia is a long-lasting issue, but for our members, it's something that, we got angry about it. I would like to use the word anger because it's something that people have, continue to suppress or, from achieving. The issue of our honor compensation.
Who are those suppressing you? Just to interrupt.
The issue of our honor compensation brought earlier because when this government took over, we have a policy that was validated and approved by the previous government. We are not politicians. We are health workers. We are clinicians. We are sacrificing on the front line. So we believe that we deserve salary betterment. So that policy was validated and left on desk for implementation. So in 2024, our leadership joined with other healthcare or association leadership like the physician assistant, the nurses or association, the midwife association, the laboratory association. So we went to the Ministry of Health, we went to the CSA, we went to the Ministry of Finance when it comes to the implementation of that policy. But people around, or these areas continue to play game with our interests. So that part, led us to where we are today.
I'm focused on Liberia, sir, because when you say people around continue to play games of interest, you might be beating around the bush. I'll be taking talk to the Minister of Health.
So when we mention entities of government, then definitely we are talking about the head. So like I said to you, when this government took over, our leadership visited the Ministry of Health. So when we went to the Ministry of Health, we put the policy before the Health Minister, Dr. or Louis Mample-Poto. And then we also visited the CSA. We met with the Director General or Dr. Josiah Jokia, and we went to the Ministry of Finance. So these three agencies, we expect them to collaborate well and speak to the policy implementation.
You talk about policy. What are some of the things in your policy that you presented to the Minister of Health?
So the policy was not crafted by us. It was crafted by the leader of the country, meaning the past administration. So things that are in the policy include salary betterment, or allocation of adequate resources for healthcare services.
My name is Wilmot Conan from DN News. Currently, how much do you make as a minimum wage for anesthetists across Liberia?
So the salary of nurse anesthetists for honor MOA is 600, and then after tax deduction, we take a net salary of $397, meaning you combine with both LD and USD.
This is a new now. What was the intervention of the Ministry of Health when you reached out?
So the first thing is, the Ministry of Health, when we went to them, what they said to us was, they wanted to hire a consultant, and then we agreed with them. In 2024, they hired a consultant. They brought a consultant in country, and then we worked with the consultant. They even led us to enter in our association, cover. We spent all our money beyond the policy. So the policy that was approved, thanking for the implementation. We were surprised to hear from the Deputy Director for CSA or Darlington Smith to say that the Ministry was playing game with our interest. You cannot discuss policy issue about staff, or salary betterment and leaving or CSA out. The sad thing about that whole story is the very policy, the validation and the proof, or ceremony was held at the Cape Hotel. And during that ceremony, it was graced by the CMO from the Ministry of Health and the Director General for CSA. So how would the Deputy Director come and say, or CSA is not in the know? So we consider it to be a game. So we reached out to the Ministry of Health, telling them that if you continue to play a game with the interest of our people, we lay down our tools, and then you will have to go to fill in our gap with different professional groups.
For how long have you endured these challenges as a body?
So like I said to you from the onset, the issue of salary or the issue of honor compensation is going or traditional something in Liberia. Okay. The recent episode of this coming about because the government continue to play game with the policy that they should have implemented to better our salary. So this current edition of the fight for salary betterment, we left the hospital since January 15, 2026. But the Ministry of Health, headed by the current minister, Dr. Louis Mample-Poto, is making it to look like nothing is affecting the health sector. So our coming outside here, we have.
So you've not been working since January 15? We have not been working
since the 15th.
And nothing has been done to have it back?
Our coming outside here, we are come to fled to the Liberian people that our absence from the hospitals in Liberia or from many hospitals in Liberia is causing a serious problem within the health sector. But the minister and her team continue to present it as so nothing is happening.
Is it that your services are not important? That's why they've not been coming over to you?
So my brother, if you say my services are not important, then I will ask you, say, take your general, take a telephone and call in Lofa. People in Lofa, hospitals in Lofa, doctors in Lofa are just sitting there seeing patients. When it comes to operation or surgery, they are transferring pregnant women and other emergency cases from Lofa to Banga. Other people in Sano, JFK, they are transferring patients from Sano to JFK. If you say my services are not important, then why the doctors that are there not doing the work? So our services are very important.
Are you open to negotiation?
My concern before you come to the negotiation. Before you come to the negotiation, my concern is what is in this policy.
Negotiation? So that I started to emphasize regarding what is in the policy.
Yeah, what is in the policy?
The question that I spoke about, reclassification, meaning you went to school, you started at the level of the SA, and now you improve yourself, and then you got to a point where you are recognized to be a registered nurse. So they need to take you from the level of nurse A and pull you to a registered nurse. You went to school, and then you got your nursing document, and then you are pricing about registered nurse. Now you added another 3 years of experience, and you have become a nurse specialty or a specialized nurse. So that we are sitting here, most of our groups here, they are nurses. who went to school between 4 to 5 years. For there, they added additional 3 years of study. So now, government is supposed to pay them, you know, according to their category.
Now let's talk.
That's one of the unique things. That one of the unique things that in the policy. The next thing in the policy is that I am a nurse and anesthetist. She is a nurse and anesthetist. She is a son in Monserrado, and I'm working in the rural area, meaning I'm working in Sano. So two of us need to be paid the same money. So the policy is so unique. And one good thing in our policy is that the policy gives government a time bound to generate extra revenue for the coming year. Meaning I'm earning $416.36, for example. The policy will not just take me from $416.39 to $1,000, which is the maximum. No, the policy will give the government time to increase my salary on a yearly basis. So it's a very unique policy. But I think people around, you know, or some high or government entity continue to play game with this policy.
What specifically do you want from lawmakers? Because you are here today.
Drafted.
What specifically do you want from lawmakers? Let's talk about the way forward. What do you want from lawmakers?
I will come in outside here. The first thing is that the issue we're discussing, I will ask them from hospitals in Liberia, is a serious health, you know, emergency. So we want the government to intervene, make the Minister of Health to know that our accent from hospital is not supposed to be that way.
Do you want the legislature to summon the health ministry?
Which is their responsibility to do.
Phyllis, you talked about renovating those barracks in Liberia, particularly the 72nd barracks. There is this issue about those living around the barracks. They are now saying that the soldiers who went there to claim the entire place, they are saying the front view does not belong to the army. Mr. President, do you have something to say about this?
You know, this is one of the things that we have to do in this country. That's why I said to minister to agencies, when you have an agency, make sure, apart from running an office, know your asset, know. So the army people know the demarcation, they know what land belongs to them. If they don't, there's a way to determine that, but we make sure that the army is not violating anybody's right.
Are you going to reconsider their appeal? They are appealing to the government now to reconsider them, but because
to reconsider who?
The occupants.
The army is entitled to decent livelihood that they are placed. God is not making new land. That place was for the army.
Okay.
And the army is going there to take it back.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. You listen to the president about the EPK barracks. So you listen to the president. He said God is not making new lands. So.
I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me Mr. Journalist, I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now, and I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on president? Based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major story. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. We got major story. There is no job, no money for hustlers. Come take a coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of leakage, nowhere to sleep. Come and see the widow, living in the street with her children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter, oh, children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend. The children have no food to eat.
The children have no shelter, no food, and no one to call their parents. this is it. We live here on Weez TV, and today is Thursday, the 5th day of February 2025. So, what's exactly on our decks? We are basically going to talk about issues surrounding our country, Liberia. We will take a look into a recent statement by the President Joseph Boakai, a video circulating on social media, and that video was being posted by a co-working journalist, Theophilus Co. We'll talk about that and what that implies or what that means, as we have seen a permanent business individual from the 72nd belt that also been involved into pleading to the national legislature to be able to find some remedy to the situation. So we talk about that, and we will basically go ahead to talk about how these guys, anesthesians, that went at the Capitol building to call on the government to be able to look into their case, as well as they are not getting the due salary they deserve. So look at that as well, and a couple of other issues we will run through, including a recent invitation coming up from the Supreme Court inviting Prophet Key, a popular social media live content creator, to go at the grounds of the Capitol judiciary, the Supreme Court, and be able to answer some questions. So we'll also dive into that. Let's take this break. Once we get back, we'll be good to go. Yes, indeed, I can't stand no more because basically no food. And here let's firstly run through with this statement from the president, right? Let me play this again, and I would like to say credit to QFM.
Mr. President, my name is Theophilus. You talked about renovating those barracks in Liberia, particularly the 72nd barracks. There is this issue about those living around the barracks. They are now saying that the soldiers who went there to claim the entire place, they are saying the front view does not belong to the army. Mr. President, do you have something to say about this?
This is one of the things that we have to do in this country. That's why I said to minister to agencies, when you have an agency, make sure, apart from running the office, know your asset, so the army people know the demarcation, they know what land belongs to them. If they don't, there's a way to determine that, but we make sure that the army is not violating anybody's right.
Are you going to reconsider their appeal? They are appealing to the government now to reconsider them, but because
reconsider who?
The occupants.
The army is entitled to decent livelihood at their place. God is not making new land. That place was for the army.
Okay.
And the army is going there to take it back.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. You listen to.
So this alone from the president, it tells you that he's being straight forward to exactly what that is needed to be done. In terms of whatever activity that will be happening. Let me get this set up. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to face what we're facing. Okay. So it tells you that whatever situation there with the land issue at the 72nd barrack, that is strictly an issue that the president is not going to intervene. And we had HEP yourself, the owner of that institution, pleading to government to be able to basically, give her some space, some time, not space alone, but some time to look into ways and look into how she can be able to relocate her business. She said that she invested close to $1 million just to have that business established at that particular location. And her cry has always been to the national legislature, making sure that, basically they can be able to handle the situation. So again, just on today, the president, was visiting, the army, and a question being posted by Theophilus Cole from Cole, asking about the current status of those occupants that are on the land that the army are claiming to own. And the president was blunt enough and said, you have told every ministries, every agencies of government that they should be able to take their property. If you have a land, go and take it for you. Develop the land. You deserve to live a decent life. That's exactly what the president said. And the next thing the president said in this clip is that, God is not making new lands. So God is not making new land.
Claim the
So
entire
you
place.
have
They are
to-
saying the front view does not belong to the army, Mr. President. Do
You
you have
have to
something
take
to say
your
about
land.
this?
This is one of the things that we have to do in this country. That's why I said to minister to agencies, when you have an agency, make sure, apart from running an office, know your asset, know. So the army people know the demarcation, they know what land belongs.
They know the demarcation, and they do know what land belongs to them. So basically, you should be able to understand that, this is a clear indication that the government is not going to have any sympathy on any individual, that would cry and cry and cry, because the decision of the army is something that has been backed by just this statement coming from the president. So I think the lady at HEP herself should be able to understand that basically there's no level of hope, to be able to have whatever appeal she's having, to be able to regain some strength and some time to relocate the business. And I've always been on this issue, right? Like I said, on this very show, that the fact that you want to purchase or learn, you should be prudent enough to go ahead with your own investigation. I'm saying it from a perspective that you might end up buying somewhere that is exactly for somebody else. And at that point, you won't even have the opportunity to get that area, and including all of your resources, the finances, and everything you spend there. So to make it look great, you should be able to investigate whatever property or whatever land. Our country, to get, forgery documents that look similar to the original is almost like a normal day thing and a normal living thing in our country. People forgery these documents, land these and everything as administrators, and it tells you, I own this place, give me this amount of money. And it's not just about help yourself, it's about other businesses and other people there. I think they understand the situation. You cannot fight government or the armed forces as well. And currently the place is highly restricted. It's highly restricted. We were taking some visit at the area. We were being told that there was a direct mandate from whoever is the boss there, says no entry for people to get in there, and only people who resides there do have access to the entertainment center. Not a full access per se. I think just a little road to come out, go in, come out, and like that. So we want to say that, with this statement, the president is blunt and clear about his statement, and that shows that the president is fully in support of whatever that's going on at the 72nd belt. And I think that whoever thinks that the president is going to basically, help in these kind of situations might just not have no kind of help that they are going to get, or the thought they could have had. Yeah. So basically that's just it. And let me come in with this article where the Liberian broadcasting system and newly constructed China aided broadcast, complex keys have been officially turned over to the current Director General of the Liberian Broadcasting System, Eugene Falcon, and from the Chinese partners. So today in the live video that we saw, Director Falcon literally had the key handed over to him in the ceremony that took place, and was attended by officials for LBS and also members of the Chinese delegation. So the new broadcast complex is basically expected to enhance broadcast quality, there, and improve the working conditions for media professionals and strengthen public access to information nationwide. That's exactly what they said. And LBS Director General Fangon expressed gratitude, to the president for his trust and support, as well as to the government and people of China for the continued support to Liberia's media sector, describing, the project as a major boost to public broadcasting and national development. Chinese representatives reaffirmed their country's commitment to strengthening the bilateral relations with Liberia, and they said that the broadcast complex is also part of China's ongoing assistance aimed at, supporting information dissemination and media development and capacity building. So this new complex do have a modern studio, upgraded transmission equipment, and improved facilities, positioning the LBS to deliver more efficient, reliable, and professional broadcasting nationwide. So we like to say kudos to Eugene Fangon, who's the director general there at LBS. He's doing a very, very great job at LBS with his team of workers, and that alone deserves some level of appreciation and applause for Director Fancon. And that's exactly how these kinds of development we want to see in our country, and upgrading the LBS is something great. Yeah, and we all understand the fact that we want to have these kinds of situations happening on a daily basis. So let me basically come with what we call, so there's the serious awareness that are going on with a road, not just road but railroad accident along the Nima Grand Bassa corridor. Aslam Matthias embark on awareness campaign, targeting communities and in Nimba, and what they are doing, they are solely informing people in the public that we do have trains, and these trains plow the railway, and you can have makery. Yeah, I guess that's the name, because you can have makery also on the train track. So and the awareness campaign has hit community radio stations with jingles, talk shows, and danceable rhythm produced by popular Liberian musician Koti Kubasi. And the awareness is going on, because in one video spreading on social media, we saw a lot of individuals there basically talking about, not talking about per se, but we saw them with makery. Yeah, we saw them with makery, and they were plying the train track. So that is absolutely bad, and we can have these kinds of situations happening, and we feel that we are even doing way better. We are not. So let me just jump in with the nurses, anesthetists on their nationwide strike, right? And today we were at the Capitol building, and we witnessed these guys, calling on their lawmakers to basically be able to come to their aid. What I mean by that is they've raised lots of concerns about the level of work they are basically doing at various assigned government institutions, and their salaries and benefits are not something that can be able to help them. So they said the Minister of Health, Dr. Louis Poto, the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, and that of the Civil Service Agency were informed about their plots. And one thing they did was to constantly engage the Minister of Health about these kinds of situations, and basically what is it that she needs to do. You know, anesthetics are people who give you anesthetians, you know, like someone say they give you non-pain injection, you know, to do surgery and some stuff. So these are trained professional people, and that's their job, to be able to give you that drugs, and you can be able to undergo your surgery or whatever medical procedure in a perfect and unique manner. With that being said, they also said, you know, they've had some policy on decks that came in from the previous government. Literally, the previous government was all about, you know, I don't know, he said, you know, increasements of salary, you know, benefits, their condition, and Yampa and Dolo, right? He said that the policy even gave government a lot of time, ample time, to be able to handle the situation. So he made mention of how the policy gave government a lot of time. He said, for instance, or example, if you are a government, let's say an anesthetics, and you making something like 300, the policy says at that the government won't just take you from 300 to 600 or 1000 immediately. So it gives the government time. So if you make 300 and you went to school and upgrade your degree or CV, the government will not take you from 300 immediately to 600. So they take you from 3 to 400 the next year, 4 to 500 the following, 5 to 600 the following, just within step by step. That alone, he said, is something great that can be able to give a lot of time to government to be able to get whatever funding and whatever money they will be able to use for that process. So their plots were then received by the lawmaker, the office of the speaker, Richie Nangwekun. And with that, we basically wants to bring the clip. Let me just quickly bring it.
Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining this broadcast. This is DN News Liberia, and of course, my name is William.
Equipment for us to work with in the year. And by the way of introduction, my name is Mepen Duro. I'm the president of the Liberia Association of Nurses and Anesthetists, group of professional health workers that are responsible to facilitate surgery and run critical care in Liberia. So I'll come here today a couple of lot of issues. Among these issues include the issue of honor compensation. The issue of honor compensation in Liberia is a long-lasting issue, but for our members, it's something that, we got angry about it. I would like to use the word anger because it's something that people have, continue to suppress or, from achieving. The issue of our honor compensation.
Who are those suppressing you? Just to interrupt.
The issue of our honor compensation brought earlier because when this government took over, we have a policy that was validated and approved by the previous government. We are not politicians. We are health workers. We are clinicians. We are sacrificing on the front line. So we believe that we deserve salary betterment. So that policy was validated and left on desk for implementation. So in 2024, our leadership joined with other healthcare or association leadership like the physician assistant, the nurses or association, the midwife association, the laboratory association. So we went to the Ministry of Health, we went to the CSA, we went to the Ministry of Finance when it comes to the implementation of that policy. But people around, or these areas continue to play game with our interests. So that part, led us to where we are today.
I'm from focus on Liberia on side because when you say people around continue to play games of interest, you might be busy around the group. I'll be taking talk to the Minister of Health.
So when we mention entities of government, then definitely we are talking about the head. So like I said to you, when this government took over, our leadership visited the Ministry of Health. So when we went to the Ministry of Health, we put the policy before the Health Minister, Dr. or Louis Mample Poto. And then we also visited the CSA. We met with the Director General or Dr. Josiah Jokia, and we went to the Ministry of Finance. So these three agencies, we expect them to collaborate well and speak to the policy implementation.
You talk about policy. What are some of the things in your policy that you presented to the Minister of Health?
So the policy was not crafted by us. It was crafted by or the leader of the country, meaning the past administration. So things that are in the policy include salary betterment, or allocation of adequate resources for delivery, healthcare services.
My name is Wilmot Conan from DN News. Currently, how much do you make as a minimum wage for anesthetists across Liberia?
So the salary of nurse anesthetists for honor MOA is 600, and then after tax deduction, we take a net salary of $397, meaning it combined with both LD and that of USD.
This is a new now. What was the intervention of the Ministry of Health when you reached out?
So the first thing is the Ministry of Health, when we went
Nyami say your man pussy. Nyami say who the zigu boo, you damn corrupt. You're dirty eye, you damn corrupt. People crying too much. You fucking corrupt. People say, in time you were from Nima, you were Chief Justice, there were one Gio man that was digging your mouth hole.
Yeah, so Prophet Key is so rude. So rude. And this is his reaction after getting the letter.
A rate of contempt reads Judicial Branch, Republic of Liberia, Office of the Clerk, Supreme Court of Liberia, Temple of Justice, Monrovia, Liberia, February 4th, 2026. Mr. Justin Opa Yezian, also known as Prophet Key, Monrovia, Liberia. So Monrovia, Liberia, my address. We need to face many things in the country. No P.O. Bars. There you go, eh? No P.O. Bars. My address. The country need to face the country real level. To face the country. Look at my address. Justin Opa Yezian, also known as Prophet Key, Monrovia, Liberia. Finish address there. Can you see it? Now what we have to face the country? Country need facing. Thank God I will appear before my judges then. Yeah. Okay. Justin Opa Yezian, also known as Prophet Key, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Yezian, by directive of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, dear Mr. Yezian, by directive of the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, you are hereby cited to appear before the full bench. My people are full bench, yo. Before the full bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia on Tuesday, February 10, 2026, at the hour of 3 p.m. I said the body got me way in the hearing. 3 p.m. to show cause why you should not be here in contempt of court for your continued and sustained barrage of invective against the person of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, the Supreme Court, and other members of the bench which have exposed the Supreme Court to public ridicule and disrepute. Regard very truly yours, Councillor Sam Mamalu, Clerk, Supreme Court, RL. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that they read the Supreme Court seminar, I will be appearing before the full bench. Before the full bench. Before the full bench. To tell them why I should not be here in contempt.
So you heard Mr. Yezian, instead of reading, the invitation or the writ served to him by the Supreme Court, and why he shouldn't be held in contempt. So probably on Monday or Tuesday, I guess, Prophet Key marked and going to the Monrovia Central Prison with the kind of verdicts he rendered upon the Chief Justice of Liberia. It tells you that he's always doing this. He's always doing it, and I think this should also serve as some level of lessons for him as a person, and basically not to be able to literally get involved into speaking to just people anyhow. especially some of the Chief Justice of Liberia, George Yomi Kwekwese, so that is it right there. And we already out of time on the round table. My name is William Magill. Let's run through with today in history. Today in history, U.S. shuts down Chinese spy balloon. A Chinese civilian balloon was shot down off the coast of South Carolina after crossing much of the U.S. The action taken on an orders from President Barney prompted diplomatic tension as China threatened retaliations. Today in history, Pope Francis appealed for peace in Africa during the final leg of the African pilgrimage in South Sudan. The Pope called for reconciliation and urged citizens to accept and love one another sincerely. While today in history, wildfires in Chile, at least 22 people died due to that wildfire, and that led to extensive evacuation and declaration of a state of emergency. In culture and entertainment, today in history, 65th annual Grammys Award ceremony celebrated music achievement with Harry Styles winning Best Album for Harry's House, Lizzo for Best Records About Down the Time, and Bonnie Raitt for Best Song Just Like That. Beyonce broke the record for the most Grammy wins, attaining her 32nd award. Today in history is Saturday night, anniversary. While today in history as well, Pervez Musharraf, former Pakistan general and the 10th president of Pakistan, passed away at 79 years old in Dubai following a prolonged illness. Today in history, Americans in the Northeast saw a temporary respite from usually harsh winter temperature following record lows as 108 Fahrenheit and chill at Mount Washington, New Hampshire. So that's all we have for the show tonight. We'd like to appreciate everyone for coming on and everyone for following us on the round table. Until next week, Tuesday, we will be back here with another great presentation. Do have a joyous night from Painesville, outside Monrovia. My name is William Magill. Bye-bye.
I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me Mr. Journalist, I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now, and I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, they say based on money, they say based on presidency, they say based on technology, they say based on war. Tell me, we got make your headlines. Oh,